Big thanks to Napoleon Grills for sponsoring this episode.
What would happen if you dry age a steak in black pepper? Let's find out. So here it is, the experiment. A 40 days dry age reference steak and, more important, the 40 days dry age steak in black pepper. It all started 40 days ago when I selected this beautiful ribeye roast and I cut it up into 1 kilogram steaks. One of them I set aside as my reference steak, and the other one I completely covered in ground black pepper. Most of us know black pepper as the stuff that we grind down on food and makes our steak taste better. But in reality, black pepper used to be a berry with lots and lots of fruity flavors. And hopefully that's what we're bringing back with this dry aging experiment. So I set my reference steak and my black pepper steak side by side, and I put them in my dry ager and let them sit there for 40 days. And the end result is amazing. The fragrance, as always, it's like mind-blowing. I've had this a couple of times when I do these dry aging projects. Of course, the moisture is drawn out, but it also makes the fragrances of everything that I use to dry age with pop. It just comes at you. It screams fruitiness. And that's something that a lot of people don't realize, that this black pepper used to be a berry that tasted freaking delicious, like a real berry does. Like, think of raspberries, think of blueberries, things like that, something in those lines. And then we dried it and grind it down, and it tasted freaking amazing. I think we should make our own pepper someday. And if I look at the black pepper steak, it looks like it's gonna be a success. However, my reference steaks has me a little worried. The outside of this reference steak doesn't look very appetizing. Moldiness is something that is real, that is there when you're dry aging. It is a very normal thing in the process. However, this mold and this wet doesn't look very appetizing. This is what we call in Dutch smet. It basically means like a soaring wound, and it doesn't look very appetizing. And I hope that I can cut this away, but if not, that will make this reference steak uneatable. But first, let's take a look at this black pepper steak. I want to get as much of this pepper off, so I'm just gonna carefully brush it off. Then I'm gonna expose the meat, and you can see that it's very well connected and there's no mold here whatsoever. And I found so far that by adding dried herbs, you get a better crust and you get less mold. Now let's open up the steak and take a look inside. Wow! That's absolutely perfect. A beautiful dark red color, very little waste on the pellicles. This is a really good dry aged steak. Now let's cut this up into multiple steaks and see what they look like. Absolutely gorgeous, beautiful steaks. One of the best dry aged looking projects so far. But what happened to our reference steak? Is it still good? Did it rot away? Let's just cut into it and take a look on the inside. Wow, that's actually not bad. I expected a lot of damage and a lot of problems. As you can see, sometimes you worry just a little bit too much. This is an absolutely perfect dry aged ribeye. I'm now gonna cut away all of the pellicle and get some beautiful steaks out of this. As you can see, the end result is 2 beautiful steaks. One dry aged in black pepper, one dry aged regular. And as you can see, the black pepper takes a win on yield. Now that I got these beautiful steaks and I want to grill them up, I'm going to fire up my Napoleon Kettle Pro. I loaded it up with charcoal, put in a couple of fire starters, lit it up and let it come up to temperature. Then I put in my cast iron grill grate and set it to the lowest position. Now I got a hot grill that's ready to start cooking. It's blazing hot, so we're gonna get some beautiful sear marks with that cast iron. Black pepper steak on the right side, reference steak on the left. Once I got a beautiful sear mark, I'm going to place these steaks over indirect heat and I'm going to let them come up to a temperature of 52 degrees Celsius. These are beautiful results. Absolutely perfectly grilled steaks. Beautiful sear mark. They look absolutely juicy, tasty. So let's cut into it. First I'm gonna cut into a black pepper steak. I'm gonna take a look inside and see how the steak turned out. Of course, with dry aging, your steak always looks further cooked than it really is. This steak looks absolutely beautiful, juicy, tender. I say the black pepper looks like a success. Now, of course, I also want to check my reference steak. Will it look just as good? Oh yes, it does. Juicy, tender. That is one mighty fine looking steak. Now for my personal preference, I always like to season my steak afterwards. I'm going to use a little bit of fleur de sel, which is a light sea salt that's going to dissolve very easy, but also gives a lot of texture and a lot of flavor. I almost grabbed the black pepper first, but I want to do the beautiful reference steak first. Look, drip juiciness. Oh, that's the downside of cooking outdoors. Little fluffy thingy. There we go.
What's going on here? Cheers.
The moment that I stuck this in my mouth, I knew, this is heaven on a griddle.
There's nothing that beats a little bit of dry aged fat. Call me weird, but that's the best thing ever.
This tastes like a very juicy and good steak.
And that's just the reference steak. Now let's move on to the black pepper steak. Did it get better? Did it get worse? Only one way to find out. This is difficult. I'm not tasting a lot of difference.
I don't know. It's there, it's also not there. This is difficult. This is really difficult.
I don't think there's a very distinctive difference between them, but I think this one has a bit more of a peppery flavor to it.
I honestly can't tell the difference. I honestly can't. Maybe a little bit. Maybe.
The black pepper is an excellent dry aged machine. Just for dry aging, taste wise, yeah.
I think I just wasted a lot of pepper. That's how it feels.
Yeah. I mean,
They taste good.
they both taste amazing.
Great steaks.
But the crazy amount of pepper that we put onto it,
Yeah.
I don't think it does a lot.
It doesn't do the effort, and the amount of ingredients invested doesn't do it justice.
No.
I think I need to redo this experiment with green peppercorns.
That might work.
I think that might work.
So which one is the pepper steak?
This one is the pepper steak and this one is the regular steak. But you can only taste the pepper if there's a little bit of pepper on the outside that got on the grill grate or something,
Yeah.
but not really from the inside.
No, it's not like it has an extra layer to it or something. I mean, I could still eat this whole thing.
It's delicious.
It's still damn good steak.
Yeah. Well, there you have it. This is the end result. Conclusion is, don't bother putting black pepper on your dry aged project.
Nope.
Nope.
Don't do it.
Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, then leave it a big thumbs up in the comment down below. Big thank you to the YouTube members. Hope to see you guys next time. Until then,
Eetsmakelijk.
and keep on grilling.
And click this video.
Don't forget to watch that one. It was freaking awesome. Eva.